Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 34 today and we finish off the Welsh Premier League season in style before a chance, third time lucky perhaps, at winning our debut Welsh Cup in the series. 2 finals with defeats so far, the first of them were against Barry Town, and after regaining our Welsh Premier League crown off them last year, can we pip them to the Welsh Cup in this year's final? They've fallen out of the European race, so they need it to qualify for European qualifiers next year. TNS look like they've snuck back in there, as have today's opponents Carmarthen. They're 4 points clear in second, so their position's wrapped up. But their only job now, in our hardest game of the season, is to stop us from being invincibles. 31 games played, 28 wins, 3 draws, a plus 67 goal difference. From last year, where we didn't even get close to the title, this is a major turnaround. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can complete the job, and of course a chance at winning a cup competition too, and our first Welsh Cup of the series, please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily alerts from 2 long-term stories. And of course we've got 2 live streams every week as well, and thank you for your incredible support. But let's have a quick look at the results off camera, because there's not a huge amount to reflect on really. We've still got the issues off the pitch with Serafino. Is there or isn't there going to be a takeover? Will it happen in time that we can make our own signings in terms of transfers or loans? Because if not, we're relying on free agents because he won't let us sign anyone who's not based in Argentina. But since the last episode, we beat Barry 3-2. Diakite got a brace, but Joe Duffy went one better with a hat-trick. That, of course, followed that disappointing SPFL final. We then won 3-0 in the Welsh Cup semi-final, a Glatzel brace in the first half this time. A 2-1 victory at home to Aberystwyth. Paul Glatzel with the brace again in that one. Before a 2-0 win away at Connors Quay. Max Dean back in up front, and he got the 2 goals that time. So all 3 strikers on fire. I want to rest a few for this Carmarthen game, but equally, I want to keep everyone fit and fresh for the final. It's going to be a difficult balancing act, but there's not much to talk about. It is all about these 2 big games. The finances are fine. They'll cope till the end of the season. The Welsh Cup final is the biggest priority, but if we could go invincible, it would be brilliant. So let's go and find out. Carmarthen v Bangor, it looks like the European places are wrapped up, and then it's just what Barry can do in the Cup final. So let's go and get into the game. We've been recommended to make some changes back to full strength. I'm going to sort of mix and match them a little bit. But with 8 days to the cup final, I probably should, because these boys will then start to lose fitness if not. It says that Ethan Vaughan's match load is medium, so I'm going to keep Jack Hankin in. However, I'm going to bring back in for Hockenhull, or for Alex Reid, who's been pretty poor actually. I think I might take Reid out, because Hockenhull's been good. So Badebo's going to play centre-half. Up front, it's 2 from Duffy, Dean and Glatzel. I'm going to play Duffy and Glatzel because they've played the least games so far together. And they are still the best 2 on paper. Brooks is back on the bench, so we've got a better under-19 in the squad. And aside from that, I think we're as strong as we can be. So our lineup as a result is Zabret in goal, Hankin and Bolton the fullbacks, with Hockenhull and Badebo centre-half. We've got Benson, Press, Magoma and Cottrell the midfield 4. And then Duffy and Dean together up front. Back as they've been throughout much of the season. And they're both chasing the 40 goal mark. So let's go and get into it. Carmarthen v Bangor City. The hosts delighted to be in second place. European football for them. But what can we do? 1 game from being invincible. And a draw is an absolute must. So let me know in the comments if you'll think we'll do it. We've got a little bit of a habit or a tendency to drop off in big games. Let's see what happens on this occasion. Into it we go. The first of 2 very important games today. And as you can see from this Carmarthen team, it's a bit of a miracle they've got where they have, to be honest. They've got a slightly lesser side on paper, a lower reputation side, albeit they have got some very good youngsters in that squad. If I take you through to have a look at them in a minute, they have really done quite well and brought through some good ones. But still, they're doing very well to be second. They've reinvested after losing Noah Daly. The likes of Ollie Evans we mentioned on loan from Birmingham, what a player he's become. If we have a look at them in more detail though, the transfer history suggests a pretty clever and consistent approach. A couple of good loan players and then a lot of youngsters. They've relied on people like Dave Griffiths they signed from us. He's played a few games for them, he's been pretty solid. He's got a rating of over 7. Ollie Evans we looked at. Jayden Ali on loan from a bigger club, he's created a few goals for them. Kieran Butler from TNS, another good striker. And then the likes of Welf de Silva who have played lots of games at this level. It's just a very good, consistent approach to transfers, and it served them really well. So you've got to say fair play to them for being second. It looks like TNS have snuck in this year, so hopefully they'll invest as well. And almost if Barry do win the cup final, they go into Europe too, and it just gives a real opportunity for these sides to start investing in their clubs. As it is though, I don't think that's going to happen. We've had a pretty poor start to this half. We've got a throw-in on the right with Jack Hankin, 25 on the clock. We're going to lose a few this summer as well. Badebo will not be rejoining by the looks of it, as Duffy puts it wide. I was just about to say puts the rebound in. Don't know how he's missed that. We're going to be losing Badebo after his loan. It looks like Ethan Vaughan will be gone as well. Ben Crottrell in the number 10 role. They are three big players for us, so I don't know how we recover from that. As Benson puts a free kick in, tipped over by the keeper. Excellent work. The commentary says it deserved to be a goal. But if the keeper's that good, you're not going to get it. It's an out-swinging corner from Benson. Done really well in this holding role. And Duffy gets it all wrong. Not for the first time tonight. And with 10 to the break, it remains goalless, as it's a throw-in on the left-hand side for Bolton. Placed to Benson in that holding role, spraying the possession beautifully. Press goes back to Benson. Press had been playing centre-half, moved into midfield due to the injury to Brooks, and the long ball through finds Duffy. He's got Dean in the middle, he's brought down for the penalty. Now who's going to take it? Ben Cottrell is the best at the club. Benson missed his last one, so I'm going to stick with Cottrell and just see how he does. I know Duffy's chasing a big goal tally, he's missed one as well this season. So let's stick with Cottrell, the best taker at the club. Can he make it count? Of course he can. Smashes it down the middle, the keeper dives to his left. And with his sixth for the season, it's a lead for Bangor City. Invincible season has just got a lot closer. And at half time, it's been a very comfortable day at the office. No shots for Carmarthen, only about a third of the possession. And what I really love this season is not the fact that we've regained the title, not the fact we got to the SPFL Trust Trophy final, not the fact we might even win our first Welsh Cup. The main thing for me is just the fact that we've started to play like the side I wanted. The blueprint has finally worked. We had glimpses of it in the first season with Mayo in that number 10 role, with a couple of the quality strikers we had. But that was at second tier level. Now we're competing with the best in the country, and these two are starting to look good at it. I'm going to replace the front two, Glatzel on for Duffy, Dean replaced by Josh Thomas. Then the other one I'm going to bring on is Alex Reid, just because he's the youngster who needs football. Hockenholt, after all his brilliant performances, has had a pretty poor day today. So with 20 to go, more football into the youngsters, and another good display for Bangor. It's going to be an invincible season. And after dropping 30 odd points last year, what was it, 9 draws, 7 defeats? It was a shocking season. Must be 40 odd points we dropped. And this season, we've bounced back with aplomb. We were fighting for second on the last day of last season. This year, the title was wrapped up very early on. A 1-0 win, it should have been more, but a fantastic way to start the episode. Now comes the big one. Barrytown United did beat TNS. They move up to 5th in the league, and we've got them next in the Welsh Cup final. They come into it in form, and they'll be looking to stop our first Welsh Cup success again. Let's see if they can do it. We'll be back for kick-off in the moment. As we get to match day, with some injury and recovery news with fitness tests, there's some quick off-the-pitch stuff we've got to cover before the cup final. Most importantly, we've got a new contract. Another 1 year added on, a £200 a week wage rise up to 1.6 thousand. So we are definitely staying at Bangor City. There is also some transfer news. We've agreed to sell a couple of our backup players. Mason Goodridge will go to Plymouth for 1.8 thousand. That will happen on the 9th of June at the start of the window. A solid player, but now one of the top earners and not really playing. He's not been involved in the squad since the first half of the season, particularly since the loan additions in January. And he's only 2-star ability now, so a really good servant, a quality player, and I'm afraid he's on his way. The quality of the squad has gone up very quickly, and he just can't match it. So a good servant, but we will say goodbye to him. The other one that has already left is Brandon Mason. He went at the end of the domestic window, just before the non-league window shut. He's gone to Barnet to be a backup there. Barely had a kick for us in truth. 1 league appearance, a few in the cup, and he was never going to make it. So we took the gamble to let him go early. We had 1 game where Bolton was injured, but Cottrell can cover left back, Vaughan just about. So we did all right. Brandon Mason on his way. It's one that didn't work out. He never reached that potential. But today is all about Bangor City v Barry. We have been in 2 Welsh Cup finals in our first 3 years here. We've lost both. The first one to Barrytown United on penalties. Kane McGlagan scoring a goal in his final game before he joined us. And then we also had that defeat to Carmarthen last year. So this time, we've got to put it right. Diakite is still a big threat for them. We're going to close him down at all times. We're going to make the changes recommended, I think, or are we? I don't think so. We're going to go back to the lineup. Even Press is going to play instead of Hockenholt as centre-half. Ethan Vaughan comes in at right back. Ian Brooks back from injury into midfield alongside Magoma. Dean and Duffy will continue up front. Glatzel will stay on the bench. Only 5 subs today, of course. So Josh Thomas drops out. Hockenholt ahead of Reed on the substitutes bench. I think that's the strongest bench we can name and the most rounded bench in terms of versatility. I think it's the best lineup we can put out. So that's what I'm going to go for. The only changes then, Press drops to centre-half, Hockenholt drops out. He's replaced by the returning Brooks in centre midfield. And then onto the bench we've got a bit of quality. But otherwise, Ethan Vaughan back in at right back. We're as strong as we can possibly be. And we've got our third chance and our third bite of the cherry at the Welsh Cup final. A big game against last season's Premier League champions, Barry. Can we get one over on them? Let's go and find out. They need this to qualify for Europe. We need it to add this bit of silverware for the first time. Let's see who comes out on top. There's the confirmation of the 2 changes then. Diakite, definitely the man to watch. Even Press against his former club. Will the pressure show? We just don't know. There's still some good players in there. Cook, one of our former ones. Luke Cummins at right back. Colwell, a good youngster on loan. Bio in the middle. They're a good side. They've got quality. They're not as good as they were in previous years. But we're going to tell the lads to show that they're winners and go and get into the first half. Bangor City v Barrytown United. We're at Wrexham's home the racecourse. Now let's see if we can put on a show. Into the first half we go. And we're back. Free kick right side of the box. Benson puts it in. Press edge just over. First chance from a set piece. But a quiet opening 15 so far. We've had lots of shots. None really showing as highlights. And normally we hit the target a lot more. So a pretty concerning start in terms of the stats. And not much to be seen on the pitch. We're back though with 26 on the clock as Barrytown United have an attacking throw-in. Benson tries to bring Gray down, doesn't get there. Into Colwell, 1-2 with Diakite, and Cottrell's forced to hack it off the line. Zabret had got caught trying to come for it, and it deflects away as Press wins the challenge. Clears downfield to Dean. Can we make advantage of the 2-on-2? In the end we go back to Press, start again with Vaughan. Magoma and Benson play a triangle with Cottrell. Through ball to Duffy is perfectly weighted, but Thomas Barker saves the first time shot. Excellent goalkeeping, brilliant counter-attack. And now it's our chance. Here comes the corner kick. Benson's outswinger to the back stick. Duffy loses out. Jones can't get there either. It's straight through for a throw-in. Loads of Barry fans behind the goal. Bangor look like they've got the 2 flanks along the touchline. With half an hour gone, despite utter dominance, it's still 0-0 and Barrytown United will take that. It's happened to us before in a cup final. As Benson puts the corner in. Header from Dean. Just wide of the near post. He glances it back from the far corner, just tries to send it back where it came from. The perfect technique, but didn't quite get it right as Bolton clears across. Duffy flicks on for Dean. This is the chance, surely. Beats the defender. Duffy's up with him. Just got to stay on side. Dean goes alone, and Thomas Barker tips it wide. Brilliant goalkeeping yet again. And are we going to regret all these missed chances? As I say, it's happened before. We just seem to have a curse with a Welsh Cup final, so the sooner we can get ahead, the happier I'll be. Barrytown United cleared a corner and at half time it remains goalless. 14 shots and we've taken advantage of none. 0-0, we're going to say the same again. Let's prove that we're winners. But I'm starting to get a little nervous. We all know what this means in the Welsh Cup final. And is it that competition we're just not going to be able to win? Let's find out in the second half. We've got a throw-in on the right with Ethan Vaughan. An hour on the clock. Subs to be made soon. But Dean flicks on the throw to Cottrell and he just glances in at the near post. A brilliant moment. A crucial goal. And we were just about to make changes in panic mode. But just before it, Cottrell saves the day. Throw from Vaughan. Flick on from Dean. And the header in makes it 1-0. 20 minutes to go. We'll make some changes. But I'm feeling a whole lot more comfortable now. And here we go. Duffy's starting to look a bit tired, so Paul Glatzel on for him. Has been in great scoring form himself recently. Cottrell's probably the worst rated outfield player, despite the goal. So I'm going to make a change there and bring on Mitch Pixley. Someone who hasn't had much football this half of the season. Bolton at left back struggling, I'm not going to replace him just yet. Magoma in the middle's had an average game, so he'll be replaced by Coyle. Benson will go up to his preferred box-to-box role. We'll just get another ball winner in the deep role. There we go, with 17 minutes plus stoppage time to go. We've got a narrow 1-0 advantage. Can we keep hold of the slender lead? And can we avoid mistakes at the back as Badebo plays out to Bolton? A second here would really make me relax as Bolton gets it back into Coyle. Finds Pixley in the middle, up towards Benson who runs onto it, plays up to Dean who holds it up. Goes wide to Vaughan overlapping at right back. Been a revelation since going to that more attacking duty. Back to Brooks on the edge of the box who volleys just over. But it's all us at the moment. It would be criminal if we threw it away from here. At 1-0 we have to hang on. Barry have had no threat all game. And we've got just 2 minutes plus stoppage time as Ethan Vaughan's got a throw on the right. Pixley goes up, loses in the air. Cook clears downfield. Bolton will get there first though. Badebo recycles for Coyle. Brooks picks it up in the middle, finds Glatzel. Back to Bolton at left back. He's got acres of space to run into. The cross is blocked though. Luke Cummins clears. And here's Jones on the right for Barry. Over the top, and this is where we get caught, is it? No, even Press wins it against his former club. Finds Mitch Pixley, edge of the box. Brilliant goal. Barely had a kick for the second half of the year due to the quality of our attacking play. But Mitch Pixley on, it might end up being his final game for the club. But my word, what a finish it is. Just glides it into the far corner from 20 yards. And we are going to win the Welsh Cup for the first time in the save, though we've still managed to concede. Owen Jones puts it in, his 10th for the season. So we are going to drop to balanced. We are going to time waste. 1 minute of stoppage time to go. And we've got to make sure we don't throw this away. It is not looking good now. Let's drop back a little bit. 75 seconds left. It's Bangor City 2. Barrytown United 1. But there we go. There was no time for the equaliser. There was no time for the onslaught or the grandstand finish. It is Bangor City's first Welsh Cup triumph. We lost in the first year's final to Barrytown United. We lost in the second season very early on. And we lost disappointingly to Carmarthen in the third year. But in season 4, we lift the Welsh Cup with the Bangor City. A brilliant 2-1 victory against Barry. A dominant performance against last season's Welsh League champions. And we get our first big major cup competition trophy here with Bangor. We've won the League Cup. And now we've won the proper cup as well. A domestic double with the big two for the first time in this series. And we can look forward to next season with Champions League qualifiers, with another SPFL trophy chance, and the big two domestic competitions to defend. An excellent display in the final. We're going to say congratulations, they did really well. We'll be back in a moment for the end of season review. We've done the double, we've been praised by the media. Now let's go and review the season. And we finish off with end of season review time. A brilliant year for Bangor City. Disappointment in the League Cup. Of course, we had to not prioritise that this year, really. The SPFL Trust Trophy final didn't go to plan, but the run was exceptional. And we got through a game or two in Europe as well, which we didn't expect. So let's have a look firstly at the new arrivals who have made such an impact. Max Dean, 38 goals from 37 starts. Wasn't even due to start this season as first choice. It's only because of that big injury to Josh Thomas, who was flying in the European qualifiers. And Dean really took advantage. Joe Duffy, the youngster from Norwich, 34 goals, 16 assists. Glatzel rejoined in January after a loan spell the previous year. 8 starts, 11 goals. 1 goal for Benson, who joined in January. Brilliant player. Badebo on loan, a revelation at the back. Probably the hardest of the lot to replace next year. Magoma, a brilliant player. Brooks, a great addition in January. Ben Cottrell, a stunning number 10. Even Press, a quality addition from rivals Barry. We stopped him moving to England. Josh Thomas, I feel so sorry for him. If it wasn't for those injuries, that big broken leg and 2 or 3 muscle injuries on the way back, he would have been great. We've just got to hope he gets a good pre-season next year. Cammy Palmer started well, but threw his toys out the pram at the signings. He's not featured much since and probably will be off. And Alex Reid, he's got big potential. We just need to keep improving that personality. In terms of the season though, an invincible league campaign, 28 wins and 4 draws. A stunning effort really. We finished on 52 points last year. We were down there just fighting for second on the last day of the season, scraping the Europa Conference qualifiers. This year, the title regained, Champions League football to be had. Absolutely stunning. Can't thank the boys enough for their efforts. The signings have been absolutely remarkable. Brilliant work. The director of football upgrade, Amari Morgan-Smith, he deserves some credit for that as well. And the attendance is creeping up as well. We're getting close to 1,000 as the average gate now. In the Europa Conference, we reached the second qualifying round, but Dinamo Brest just edged us out. Hopefully next season, with Champions League qualifiers to start, we can get towards group stage football. Something we've been looking at via the Champions Path. We just had a little hitch in the road last year. The SPFL Trust Trophy, a stunning run. We beat Larne, Hamilton, Rangers and Celtic reserves. And then Dunfermline just too good in the final. I wonder if they did end up winning it. They did. They won the Scottish Championship. So Dunfermline up as champions. We can understand that now, can't we? We definitely were outplayed by them. Finally, the Welsh Cup curse is gone. We win it at the third attempt in the final. A pretty comfortable run through in truth, but a big win in the final against Barry. They ran us close again, but we deservedly got the result. And then in the League Cup, disappointment against Connors Quay in the quarters. But in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really matter, did it? The moments to remember, a 5-0 win in the league right back at the start of the season. The match to remember, Larne at home was picked. It's as good a bet as any. Hamilton not far behind it afterwards. And then a 3-0 win produced the goal of the season as Max Dean produced a stunning free kick. The finances not too bad. We've picked up on sponsorship. We've picked up on broadcast revenue. The rest down a bit. The competition prize money with Europe was massive. But we've managed to keep afloat because of the SPFL trophy, because of the Welsh Cup and because of a few player sales. So hopefully next season we can really stamp our mark as a financial powerhouse in Wales. Let's look at the best 11 in terms of the lineup. They've still gone for Coyle and Press despite the likes of Brooks coming in January, despite some of the others playing like Benson later in the season. But a really good lineup, a brilliant side. And we're starting to play the football that we always wanted to. The narrow diamond's starting to work. We get manager of the season. We won manager of the month almost every month. Max Dean, clean sweep of the club awards. The competition awards, Ben Hockenhull, young player of the season in the league. A nice little side note that for someone who's not really been playing every week at the moment. So a brilliant season, history in the making, and a fantastic double. The league and the cup. You couldn't ask for much more. A brilliant way to end our 4th season with Bangor City. It means we will be starting our 5th with a transfer special and with Champions League qualifiers. So if you're looking forward to that and you want to stay up to date, please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. We've got 2 long-term stories rotating every day on the channel and the head coach is hotting up as well. So if you missed the last few, you can catch up with the playlist in the eye above before we return with this one in 2 days' time. We've got 2 live streams a week as well, in addition to plenty of content over on the podcast channel in the eye above. But a massive thank you for your support with the series, with the channel and the podcast in general. It really is appreciated and I can't thank you enough for your support. And I'll see you next time for a massive episode here. A transfer special, a return to Champions League qualifiers. And how we replace some of these Lone Stars this summer is going to shape the series for years to come. I hope you'll come and join me to find out what we've done in the window. And fingers crossed, we might have a takeover too. I'll see you there to find out. Thanks for watching.